Okay, now we're going. Got the hotkeys
Okay,
right.
you sure? Now we're going. We're good.
Yes, we're going now.
Okay. All right, and welcome to Mythical Monster Investigations. And today, after a pretty long hiatus, we're returning to our deep dive look into angels. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the final religion, which mythos is in possession of a angelic being. Now, to be fair, we're going to look at other things, but this is the big major religion that has some semblance of angels in their overall, religion. Which also means, excitedly, after this, we'll be getting into more obscurities, theories, sightings, and assumptions, which is the part I'm personally looking forward to. Um, Now, I want to say this isn't going to be too long, but honestly, I don't know how long this is going to be because it's a little nuanced and niche. And Shadow R. Fox has an idea of why because he's actually heard of this. Zed, you're going to find out because I'm going to assume that you haven't heard of this, but we'll find out. But with that, I'm your host, Archimage, along with my co host.
Shadow Fox.
And said,
And today we're going to be looking at the angels of Zoroastrianism. I am going to butcher so many names in this. I'm not even sure I pronounced that correctly.
No, I think that's right.
Right? Zoroastrianism?
Zoroastrianism, I think, is how you say it.
Okay, well, we're going to go with it. And for anyone in the comments, if I pronounced it wrong, you can comment if you want. I'm not going to read them. So go ahead and switch slides. Okay, so more than likely, most people would not know what Zoroastrianism is. So we're going to go over a quick overview of it. Now, just for clarity, Shadow R. Fox, you said that you've heard of it.
Yes.
Zed, have you ever heard of this?
and my mic did the thing again. No, I have not heard of it. No, I have not heard of it.
Okay. Again, that kind of figures. So Zoroastrianism is an ancient Iranian monotheistic religion, meaning, of course, that they believe in one creator God. So it was founded by their prophet. Oh God, I'm gonna hate this. Zarathustra.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, Zarathustra.
Zarathustra, who was an Iranian religious reformer who challenged the, at his time, current Iranian religion and became a large, which later on would become a large and very prominent religion throughout Iran. In fact, it was it was a dominant religion for thousands of years.
Until they did
Which,
reform. Until they did reform
yeah,
and became a theocracy.
yeah, very not so kind reform and a little bloody.
If FYI, here's the best context. If you've ever seen what the Iranian flag used to look like before they went through their revolution, you can easily see the Zoroastrianism symbolism in how they kind of in kind of the artwork. Like,
Is it full on the symbol that's on the screen now for those watching on YouTube, or is it just
it's similar
related
to
symbols?
so in my opinion, the art style is very similar to it because, granted, the actual art is a lion with wings, I believe holding a sword, if memory serves correctly, but the style of the wings are very similar.
Damn, that sounds badass.
Maybe I'll drop it if possible.
All right. Well, but yeah. So anyway, go ahead and switch slides. Let's see. So to kind of summarize Zoroastrianism, or as practitioners actually call it, Mazdayasana. Mazdayasana. That's what its practitioners call themselves. Which, if you two have a better way to pronounce that, feel free.
Let's see. Oh,
Yeah.
Madayasana.
Yeah, and we will explain the name later. But anyway, so this religion begins with their prophet Zarathustra becoming disillusioned with the more paganistic ways of his people. The rituals and everything else, he saw that people in his country were suffering. There was rampant murder, various corruption, and of course, the religious leaders of his time would basically just do meaningless rituals and not actually help anybody, which he became rather annoyed with. Uh, now, his actual life is, of course, highly disputed. There's not a lot of records. The records that are, people are saying are fake. There's questions. The dating's wrong, blah, blah, blah. But what basically the mythos says is that when he was about 30 years old or so, let's say 30, he went to fetch water for a holy sermon. And while he was fetching water, there he received a vision from a being of pure light and goodness. Go ahead and switch slides. Named Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda, yeah. And hence the name of the worshippers, the Mazada Nyamasas. Whatever.
Gesundheit.
And for any smartasses like Shadow R Fox out there, this Ahura Mazda has nothing to do with the Mazda car company. So no. So again, to cut to the chase, no, believing in them does not get you a free Mazda, Shadow R Fox.
And for the Iranian flag, I misspoke. There wasn't wings on it. I mistook the wings for the sun in the background.
Oh,
The you do kind of see a little bit of it in the mane of the of the lion. The mane's kind of the way they drew the mane kind of remind me of how they draw the wings, where it's just essentially a circle going down essentially.
makes sense.
So
Okay, so anyway, the prophet, sees Ahura Mazda, who revealed to him that he was the one true God and showed him the truth of how the universe worked and how it was going to be his divine mission to spread his word, to spread the truth, which he did. Go ahead and switch slides. As mentioned before, he really did, as it became a very popular religion and was 80% of the country until its reform. Apparently, having a fairly badass, lion wielding flag. But anyway, so what do they believe? Basically, they believe that all existence is a battlefield between the light and dark, good and evil, truth and deceit, etc., etc. Like pretty typical stuff. The physical world, they believe that the physical world is actually a trap that Ahura Mazda laid in place for, oh god, Angra Mayanu. Angra Mayanu basically being the dark force, the devil essentially. Um, but okay, so their belief is that in the beginning, Ahura Mazda and Angra Mazda both existed in a void where there was light and darkness until Ahura Mazda created, creation. And then Ahura Mazda, the other one, Angra Mazda, tried to infect things. So he created all the suffering, all the pain, and everything else. Everything bad in the world is created by him. But Ahura Mazda allowed it so that he could force him into this as a type of trap, which we'll explain a bit later. So the world we're living in now is a mixture of light and dark, but the darkness, which of course is Angra Mayu, can be destroyed by Ahura Mazda through the power of good thoughts and good deeds. Any questions
Saturday
so far?
morning cartoon logic.
Pretty much.
The power of friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, basically they believe all this darkness is in, but if you believe you have good thoughts, do good deeds, the power of positive thinking, it will overwhelm him and destroy. Oh God, it is a Saturday morning cartoon. But
Like I'm pretty
yeah,
sure this
so
is how like an episode of Digimon ended.
I think that a lot of animes have ended like this.
Yeah.
Didn't we watch an episode of Dexter where this was like the subplot story inside about the
Yeah.
dragon?
The episode with Dexter freed the monster living in the Japanese mountainside.
Yeah, and the dragon could be defeated, but like yeah, no, that's essentially what this is. Very Saturday morning cartoon. But yeah, any questions, opinions?
Yeah.
Zed, you good?
I guess I could also bring up the reason I knew this religion is because I play a lot of RTS game where I gotta conquer the world, and it's usually during ancient time periods. And usually, whenever I get to Persia or modern day Iran, I the main religion they're worshiping is Zoroastrianism.
Oh, I'm surprised I kept it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good on them. I mean, it is historically correct. So
Yeah,
again, good on them.
yeah. Because I remember I usually have to make them stop believing in it.
Well, apparently, from what history shows us, it doesn't take much,
Uh,
unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, pretty basic stuff, but two things I do kind of want to mention. Go ahead and switch sides. Is one, when you die, they claim that your soul is going to be balanced on scales.
okay, Egyptian.
Yeah, the ancient Egyptian thing's going to be balanced on scales. If your good deeds outweigh your bad, you get to go to heaven. If they don't, you go to hell. You know, pretty typical. They also believe in purgatory, where souls who are neither good nor evil go and they just kind of exist, staying there. So,
So what if you get like a balanced scale? You go purgatory.
yeah, essentially.
So for the few people who min max their sins and their blessings by
Yeah, you just get to kind of dwell in a void, pretty much. Yeah. You don't get tortured, you don't get rewarded, you just get to exist. Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
just a giant white room like in the Matrix.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. They also believe fire is sacred, but despite popular belief, they do not worship fire. But it is prominent in most of their worship ceremonies. Um, However, another thing that I want to talk about because it's kind of interesting is their respect. They have a respect for nature, and probably thinking, well, what's the big deal? Respect for nature is generally good. It's like, yeah, no, it's not a bad thing, but their respect to nature led to this interesting little tidbit, which you can go ahead and switch slides for. Um, it led to a very interesting burial ritual. They believed that a rotting corpse would pollute the earth, and they didn't want to burn it because the smoke would also pollute the air. So, in order to prevent the physical body or the mortal coil from from polluting nature, they built stone towers known as the Towers of Silence. And in these stone towers, the bodies would be placed basically on the roof in rows where they would be allowed to be out in the sun until vultures came and picked them clean and the sun bleached the bones.
What would
Yeah.
they do with the bones?
Then they just get rid of them because the bones would then be purified by the sun and eventually, hopefully, rot away. So they just pretty much they don't bury their bodies in the ground because that's polluting the earth. So instead they put them in these large stone towers uh, just on the roof and let the sun bleach them, let the birds eat them, and basically just leave them there. This went out of fashion for some reason. Can't imagine why.
I
Uh,
mean,
I
I
imagine they
I
didn't
prefer the
smell great.
pyramids.
Well, they couldn't bury them in the earth because
Well, you don't bury things in pyramids. You can stack that thing up, so you can make you can make like floors in the pyramid where you house the bodies.
yeah, but the body's a physical form and wrapping it or honoring it in any way is a sin.
Well, you don't have to wrap it. You can just dump it in there.
Well, what's different than about this?
You get a cool looking pyramid to look at every time you stare out your window.
I mean, you get a Tower of Silence. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's open air. I bet
Well,
if you were downwind of that, it stink.
yeah, absolutely, because it's a big tower meant for a lot of rotting corpses. The pyramid was meant for like one body.
Yeah, see, they wasn't economical with the pyramids. They should put like a bunch of bodies in there.
Well, they had a bunch of their slaves and servants in there.
Yeah, yeah, and you just do that. Like basically, I'm trying to. I think we should replace graveyards with pyramids. I think we should bring those back. I mean, we have it on the dollar. Why can't we just expand upon it?
Who's going to build the pyramids?
I mean,
I
look,
want to hear your answer to this.
look, a graveyard, a plot of land, it's there. But if you look out your window and you see a giant pyramid, you're gonna think that's awesome.
I mean, the pyramids are kind of small compared to skyscrapers nowadays.
I mean, true, we could put a skyscraper, but that's just gonna be another skyscraper. You won't be able to tell the difference that it's full of bodies. A pyramid, you're gonna be like, okay, there's bodies in there.
Okay, there are pyramids that, like, Moody Gardens is all pyramid shape, and there's not a bunch of bodies in there.
I mean, not yet, but we can fix that.
You gotta call up Moody Gardens and say, "Hey, I've got a better purpose for your pyramid.
Well, and
Let's
then
use it for
you
what
have a
they
good
were."
reason to call it Moody Garden then.
No, they don't, because they're not moody at all. They're dead.
Yeah, but the people who go visit the bodies will be moody.
No, they won't be moody. They'll be mostly in disgust or sad.
Exactly, they're moody because they're sad.
That's like two moods. Hardly moody.
Well, they're gonna be sad, disgusted, and then probably interested by the architecture.
Really, but people are going to be okay with their relatives just thrown out and sprawled and rotting so birds can come. Moody Gardens is
Well,
closed
no,
off.
it's a
anyway.
pyramid. It's gonna be enclosed. How the birds and stuff going to get to it?
Okay, fine, but you've got a bunch of corpses just lying in this place, and they're all going to be okay with that.
I mean, we can. I mean, again, I'm down for if we bring back mummification, and the families can invest in sarcophagi to really kind of make them look cool. They can make it like look like them, or they can bedazzle that thing. They can do what they want. They can bling it out. They can put hydraulics on it.
How much of ancient Egypt do you want to bring back?
Look, I think they had some cool ideas going on, but we need
You're
to bring.
just trying to create the age of apocalypse, aren't you?
Yes, and we need. No, I'm trying to create the age of the Necrons. If I can guide us closer and closer to Warhammer 40K, like I'm already. Look, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for them to start making the. We got Marines. It
Is
won't
this
be
why
long
you keep
before we can make them.
asking for a designed Iron Man suit and are okay with an extension cord?
Yes, because that's
Oh,
one
for
step.
heaven's sake!
We're getting one step closer to Space Marines.
We do not need Space Marines.
Yes, we do.
We do not need the. We do not need the World of Warcraft.
We do.
We really don't.
And I'm moving us closer to it.
We really don't need to be closer to that.
We need to be. We need to. That's. I'm gonna start calling Earth Terror. And look, we got some potential candidate for the God Emperor.
What, the AI? So we basically form our own version of Skynet?
Well, no. We're already close because we got AI, so we're close to the age of strife, where AI start trying to kill all of us.
AI can barely construct a sentence.
I know we gotta work. Don't worry. I'm working towards it. We gotta make this work. I'm hoping we go to the Necron future. I want to see us upload our consciousness into robot bodies.
I do not want to see that.
Oh yeah, I get to watch for eternity as humanity just rot away as idiot robots that can't remember their own names.
Oh god.
That'd be
Okay,
hilarious.
moving on. So anyway, so shockingly, this kind of went out of style, though I am told that it does still happen a little bit, which I found some photos of it still happening a bit, but I
In
figured
Iran?
YouTube would probably demonetize us quickly if I put those on there.
Is it happening still in Iran or a different location?
I didn't look, to be honest. I think it was Iran, but apparently it is still happening somewhere. So
That must
good
be
to
in like
know.
the outskirts of Iran.
I think it's very far in the outskirts of
Okay,
Iran.
because that would make sense because I'm like, okay, because I know there's a few practitioners still left who
Oh yeah, no.
do that.
The practitioners now don't usually use the ones that nowadays either use special uh, mausoleums or they've turned to electric or solar powered cremation that apparently isn't supposed to give off smoke so it doesn't pollute the air.
Ah, okay.
Which I call it a bit of a cheat, but all right, sure, whatever. So yeah, those are two interesting little bits. Um, with that, go ahead and switch slides.
Have they thought of doing the Conan the Barbarian thing where they just build like a wooden scaffold and just put the bodies on top of there and let the vultures come at them?
Don't give them ideas.
Oh no, I like that idea. I think I need to help them out a little bit. I think we need to, collab or something.
Okay, well, go. I'm sure they have a website. You can collab with them.
I should have a website. www.websilence.com.
I am not looking that up.
I'm not looking
There's
at
a chance that's a real website.
and it's not what we want it to be.
Yeah, I'm not putting that in my search history. I don't know what we're gonna get. Okay, moving on. All right, so I'm not gonna go through the entire religion of Zoroastrianism uh, for four main reasons. First, I don't want to. Second, you guys don't want me to, right?
Mm,
Not
Okay,
particularly.
thank you. Third, this religion has added and disputed several bits of its history, its mythos, and rituals, which can make it a very cumbersome thing to go through. So there's various explanations, there's various claims, and it's like it shares a little bit with Hinduism is that it takes and adds things to it. Then, if that thing's been around for this many years, it claims it's been around for as many years because it now has that element. So just it would be a bit of a nightmare to go through, and I don't really want to do that.
I don't think.
And finally, this podcast is actually about angels, and that is our primary focus. So, but I did want to at least mention the religion it comes from. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that there are some similarities we have seen before in this religion to others, such as weighing your good deeds with your bad, which mirrors, as Shadow R. Fox pointed out, mirrors the Egyptian mythos and practice done by the jackal-headed god Anubis, who, despite what some people and most of Hollywood thinks, was not the god of the underworld. That was actually Osiris.
Mhm.
He was the god of funerary practices. Sorry, but I watched something recently that made that mistake, and it just so many make that mistake, it annoys me.
Well, I mean, you,
And
you you got a demon god dog. Of course, people gonna think it has to do with death or something.
well, it does have to do with death, but it's the god of funerary rites, not the god of the underworld. There's a difference.
Yeah,
He
but
literally weighs your heart on the scale.
god of funerary right, basically calling someone basically a god of funerary homes is kind of
Well, then why don't they use the actual god of the underworld?
most people don't. So most people don't actually know that Osiris is a god of the underworld and or a god of death
Most
essentially.
people don't know the
But
name Osiris.
to be fair, Osiris kind of became that after he died initially and then came back to life,
Yeah,
which is the whole Greek mythos. Because I think before he was
Egyptian.
the Egyptian mythos, because before he was the god of before he became god of death, he was originally the god. I think wasn't he one of the king of the gods essentially? Or I know
I
Ra.
want to say that's true, but I'm
I
not
think he
that
was the
brushed up
god
on
of
my Egyptian.
pharaohs, I believe, if memory serves correctly.
That sounds right, but I'm not 100% sure.
Basically, he was more of a Zeus-like figure before he became a Hades-like figure. Is what
Yeah, I
I'm
think
getting
that's
at.
right. Yeah, no, that's correct. So yeah, that's mirrored there, and of course, there's the physical world being a trap. This for the spiritual world has for the spiritual world has been seen in various cults and religions, such as the Gnostic Gospels, which we covered earlier in this series. So we see kind of repeating the same themes of it's not mankind's fault, and well, there's no real point to this. It's just interesting that we kind of see these patterns popping up over and over again, especially, ways to justify saying it's not really mankind's fault. It's, it's this thing that did this, or it's that did this. It's this horrible Angrara Manuya who does this. But again, it's a theme that we kind of see. What do you guys think?
I mean, I know with Zoroastrianism, there was never really as far as I know, there was never really like a refined um set a way of like, this is the accepted, mythos
Good
or
and exactly well, oh, the mythos, yeah, no, it's heavily disputed, added, there's different
I mean,
interpretations.
in all
Again, why I
honesty,
didn't wanna go through it.
really mostly just Christianity is one of the few religion that actually did like refine itself to a uniform, this is the accepted teaching method. And even then, look how many denominations and how we branched apart between Catholicism, Christianity, um
Yep,
and all the
and again, the same thing
denomination.
about people adding different stuff. I mean, we've gone through entire videos about things that people have added, that the Catholics added just for angels. So, yeah, same problem, though the core gospels have remained constant at least. But no, you're correct. People add things, so we
And
we see the same themes, and even in Christianity, we see people adding things to basically make it not mankind's fault, which we talked about in the Book of Enoch. It wasn't mankind's fault that God flooded the earth; it was those evil Nephilim.
and my understanding is Zoroastrianism doesn't have like, it never had like a central concept of a central church.
They had worshiping rituals, but no, it was mostly performed at home. They
Like,
would gather at times for rituals, but it was not
what I
really
meant is like
mandatory.
a central church, like the Pope and
Yeah,
the
no,
Vatican,
that's what I'm saying.
essentially.
Yeah, no, if they didn't even have like really church things, then
Like,
no, they didn't have a centralized like
my
pope or
understanding, any like
Christian. Yeah,
places of worship or gathering of worship was specific to whatever region it was being worshipped in. Was my
correct.
understanding of it.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. So yeah, eh, again, no real point. I just thought it was interesting, and it kind of gives an idea of what this faith is that we're taking a look at. Because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to angels, it's going to be even more vague than the Bible. Uh, so go ahead and switch slides. So, coming to angels. Now, I actually want to start with their supreme god, Ahura Mazda. Now, normally I don't look at the supreme deity when I do this because, again, this podcast is supposed to be about angels. And, I'm of course going to mention it at times, but I don't really go into it. But there is something I do want to point out about this. Now, of course, he was a creation deity. Like most creation deities, he's the ultimate good. He created the universe, all that jazz. However, something that I did want to point out because there are Christians who know about this religion who often bring up 2 Corinthians 11:14, which reads, and I quote, "And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light." Which it's kind of interesting considering how the Zoroastrian mythos kind of goes about the prophet seeing, you know, Ahura Mazda as a being of light. So, kind of interesting. Now, disclaimer, I have nothing against Zoroastrianism as as a religion, as principle. I don't think they've done anything particularly harmful, and honestly, if they have, I haven't looked it up. So I've got nothing against this. I just thought it was an interesting thing to mention. Any thoughts on it?
Mm, I'm not familiar enough with their creation, but I would assume, yeah, light, because I know
No, it
this.
says in their mythos that he was visited by a being of light and goodness. And funny enough, this actually gets confused with Islam because many Christians will say that Muhammad was visited by an angel of light, that being Gabriel. That's actually not true. That's a mixture from Iranian culture, and it's actually uh, this religion that talks about this. The Zoroastrians who talk about the angel of light creator God who came to them. So that's kind of why I'm mentioning it. That's where this comes from. And it is an interesting little uh, side note about it. Though I Second Corinthians 11:14 was mentioned, was written after the founding of Zoroastrianism. So, grain of salt. But again, I found it interesting enough. I thought it should at least mention it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you guys think? Anything to it, or just interesting little coincidence?
Religions take from each other all the time, so
Yeah, true. Okay. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to mention just for that. So go ahead and switch slides. Okay, so when it comes to Zoroastrianism, uh, it doesn't directly have angels per se. They instead have equivalent spiritual beings or equivalent celestial beings that serve and help Ahura Mazda in basically maintaining creation itself. These beings have rankings, just like most of them do, and the rankings start out with the Amesha Spentas, uh, which I will say my spell check did not like at all. Now, these many compare to archangels. They are six divine helper beings. On a side note, there is some dispute that there is a seventh helper being, but this seventh one has also been compared to a being that is almost kind of like the Holy Spirit. So not really. And there's also another one, but that's a that being has basically been discontented and is almost heresy at this point. So I'm just going to overlook it and go with the ones that are kind of set in stone, which are these six. And the six Amesha Spentes are as follows. There's, oh boy, God,
good
these
luck.
names. Yeah. Vohu Manu, who means good mind. He's the guardian of animals. Then there's Asha Vahishta, highest truth, guardian of fire. Kahashtra Varaya, which means desirable power and guardian of metals. Spenta Armighty, holy devotion, guards the earth. Harvatatat,
Vata?
whatever. I'm not even gonna. I tried it twice. I'm done. Which means wholeness and health is the guardian of water. And finally, we have a Meritat, immortality, who is not air or heart, but instead guards plants.
And with their powers combined, they summon Captain Zoroastrianism.
No, with their powers combined, they summon. I already forgot the deity's name. Ahura Mazda to the rescue.
Captain Azor.
I mean, honestly, like it kind of annoys me they don't have one for air or heart. It's like, why not air? What? I mean, it's there, but they have one for metals. I guess Captain Planet would be a lot cooler if he had metal in him.
Yeah.
Be like Wolverine Captain Planet. Would have been a badass show. But yeah, so these are the six like high above ones, and as I said, their powers are right there. What they do is right there. They're pretty stationary. Any questions?
No.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, right?
Did they get power rings?
No.
Okay, no questions.
And in fact, I think jewelry is kind of frowned upon in this religion. Zed, any questions? I'll take that as a no. All right, so go ahead and switch sides.
Okay, my mic did the thing again. I said no though. I didn't have any questions.
Yeah, I figured. But all right, so after that we have the Yazatas. Yazats. Yazats?
Yazatas?
Yeah, okay. So these are more divine beings, four of which a few of them which are actually pretty well known. Oh, this is going to be fun. Sraosha, the angel of obedience, prayer, and consciousness who protects humans from demons at night. Then there's Mithra, guardian of light, contracts, truth, and judicial oaths. Rashnu, guardian of absolute justice and truth, who helps judge souls. Anaita divinely represents waters, fertility, and wisdom. And then Atar, the spiritual genius and angel of sacred fire. So, yeah, they just kind of have their names and their duties, and they stick to them. Out of curiosity, when looking this up, I actually found something for Marvel's Yazatas, and since you two are bigger Marvel fans than I am, do you know anything about that?
No.
Like, is that a thing?
Now I'm.
I'm not sure.
Because I saw a picture
Oh.
and
Well,
like
crazy enough, the Zoroastrian gods all they all part of the Marvel universe because remember, pantheons are real things in the Marvel universe. There's a Zeus, there's a Hercules, there's a Norse,
Okay.
and just like there's a Norse, there's a Persian pantheon. And so the Zoroastrian god, namely the Yazatas, are a humanoid race of extra-dimensional beings that hail from apparently a pocket dimension.
I mean, okay,
They
makes
have
sense, I guess.
immortality, superhuman durability, healing factor, superhuman strength, flight, dense flesh, super strength, and elemental control.
Oh, there you go.
What? Yeah, and
Okay,
they
I
got
mean,
all the
I
ones
guess
you
it makes
named.
sense.
All the ones that you named was part of the list. They had the 6 you named plus several more actually, I think.
Okay.
Marvel, I guess.
Oh, you were deep there.
Huh?
Yeah, you were deep in that one, Zed.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to make my thing work right.
Gotcha. So yeah, I found that kind of interesting. But yeah, so they're kind of the runners up. They're divine beings, etc. Uh, and I thought it was interesting. Marvel had a tie with them. So okay, go ahead and switch slides. And finally, which I could find no real good picture of, we have uh the whatever. Basically they're guardian angels. They protect individual people and protect them through their lives. That's about it. Yeah. And there we go. That's the angels of Zoroastrianism. Questions?
I mean, there wasn't that much about them, like
No,
description or otherwise.
no, there's very little. Like there's even less than in the Bible, which is I didn't think that was possible. Because like especially the Gnostic Gospels, they go out of their way to kind of describe them more. But yeah, no, that's about it. So yeah, go ahead and switch slides. So, what are we getting from all this? Well, Basically, they embody divine traits. They preside. They embody. Sorry, frog in my throat. They're the embodiment of divine traits. They preside, mediate, and assist the creation god with creation overall. And it's part of the plan. They're part of the greater plan to defeat Angra Mavingu. So instead of like standout deeds or really cool powers or abilities that we have instead uh, this look of a consistent pillar of operation for creation itself. So not a lot, and it doesn't help that our holy writings have been basically lost, destroyed, altered, or just altogether disregarded or disputed for the last 3,000 years. But to me, this shows angels in this religion kind of as a background helper, kind of something that's there but not meant to be focused on. Instead, what's meant to be focused on is that to win the war, you need to have good thoughts and good deeds. It's all about bringing out your inner spiritual goodness to defeat the spiritual war and to get into the heaven so that you'll be judged properly as long as your good deeds outweigh your bad. Which sounds a lot like the things the Gnostic Gospels were talking about, as I mentioned before. And that's pretty much what I got from this. What do you guys think?
I mean, I wasn't expecting much from Zoroastrianism because I didn't know too much about actual angels being in that religion.
Yeah, I mean, I was the most interesting thing I found about it was actually the Marvel tie-in. But yeah, because I don't think they pay much attention to them. They're more focused on the creator god, Hora Mazda, basically saying, help me defeat the darkness by being good. So literally the power of positivity will defeat and win out, which sounds kind of lame when you say it out loud. It's like a self-help book. But yeah, that's really all I got in it. Any thoughts?
Eh, not so much for
Not
this.
really, right?
There's not enough to really talk about.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, researching this, like there was surprisingly little. Like when it comes to this religion, you will find books and books about how they say it influenced other religions, the various things they've lost, how they want you to live, their rituals. But when it comes to their actual religion's overall mythos, there's surprisingly little. Influences on culture and Iranian culture, and especially its drop in Persia and its fight with Islam is extensive. But again, we're not covering that in this, and I don't want to cover it because that's a lot, and people have done it better, and I don't actually care about it that much. But in the subject of angels, there's actually precious little. So, but like I said, I'm going to go this series about going through all angels in every religion and every notice. So, I'm keeping to it, and that's what I did. So, if you guys don't have anything else, no?
No.
No.
All right, then let's go for a lighter note and move on to Zed taking it over for Who's That Monster Pokemon Light Edition, because I really couldn't think of anything else.
I mean, you
What
said
is
light.
that?
That is Ultra Necrozma. It's literally light. It eats light. That is its entire gimmick, is that it is attempting to eat all of the light.
Okay. Does it have one red eye and one blue eye?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Um,
I'm surprised you only grabbed the one form. You should have grabbed the base one too.
Oh no. When is the one when it's
When
in the
it,
crystal form?
yeah, when it's in its standard one.
Oh, the only reason I didn't grab
Because
that
I
was
would have
because of the
loved to
black
hear
one.
the reaction to how it turns into this.
out of curiosity, why does the light-eating creature have heterochromia?
To be fair, it's from the game Sun and Moon, so I'm sure that that's what it's supposed to represent.
Really? I mean,
Yes.
I guess red and blue, sun and okay, close enough.
Yeah.
Eh,
I'm pretty sure that's the whole idea.
yeah. Oh, in case actually no, and anybody who listens to our podcast would actually probably know what heterochromia means.
Yeah,
So
what
never mind.
heterochromia is, yeah.
Yeah, they would actually probably know that. Because let's face it, anybody who's dumb is not going to listen to this podcast because we actually talk about reality instead of nonsense.
As we say with the Pokemon on screen.
Hey, to many people, Pokemon is a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case in point, the two of you. How much of your lives have you let this game take?
Not anymore. I'm playing Probable.
Not,
So you've traded one addiction for another.
Yes.
Well, I guess to be fair, in Powell, you get to actually kill people and kill the Pokemon and eat them.
And catch the people and enslave them.
You had to go there.
And put them in the work on plantations and mines.
So infinitely better.
Yes.
And of course, you have mines.
Oh yeah. I have plantation.
Yeah, I know you have plantations. You probably went out of your way to call them plantations.
I did.
I know. So wait, what are its? You said it's surprising what it evolves from. What does its base forms look like? Is that the right word?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Like, I haven't played Pokemon for a while. Is base forms the right terminology?
No, it's base
or
form.
like, does it evolve twice, or does it just have one of evolution, then this thing?
It got several like early base form. Let me see. Oh, what was his name again? Zev, what was the name of it?
which one? Necrozma?
Necrozma. Okay, I couldn't remember the name off the. Let me see if I can grab its base form
Base.
without breaking the slideshow.
I mean, managed it before.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to. See if I can set that up real fast and make sure nothing breaks and hopefully that don't break. I managed it before. Okay, nothing broke. Okay, I'm doing a good job. That's what it looked like. If it updated. No.
Certainly changed colors quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Well, it updated for us.
Okay, good.
No, I mean the creature that it came from changed colors quite a bit.
Yes, it did.
Uh,
I would like to point out that it becomes this after it absorbs either a lion or a bat, depending on which game you're playing.
And while I'm here, I'll also show what I meant by the Iranian flag.
oh,
That's what it used to look like.
okay, not as cool as I had in my head.
Well, yeah, a lion with a sword is not gonna be. But you can see
I
why
was,
I said that it looks like it. It
yeah,
looked
no,
like
I
it,
see what
it
you mean.
borrowed from the Zoroastrianism because it got the sun in the background and the mane kind of looked like the wings, the feathers of the wing.
I get props. That actually looks like they put a little bit of effort into it.
Yeah, so you see why I said it, okay, it kind of did look like a it looked like they borrowed originally from the Zoroastrianism, which I looked it up. They did apparently. Most people believe they did borrow some of the design elements from it.
I can see that.
The sun, in my opinion, is kind of the giveaway because the sun do remind me of the sun in the background of the Zoroastrianism that you were showing.
Yeah, and they really like that freaking symbol.
Yeah, so. And it also makes sense because nature, you got a lion for nature, and then you got a sword, and since metal is one of the elements,
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
so.
All right, interesting. Anything else you guys want to add?
No.
Okay.
No, not
Well,
really.
awesome. Then, all right, and that with that, we've gone through the major religions that actually have angels in their overall mythos or history. So next time we'll be having a little bit more fun. We'll be looking at more. I guess the proper term would be angelic-ish. That would be deities with wings or beings that. No, it's basically just going to be beings with wings. Bits of history and mythology that have it's a strange coincidental resemblance to our celestial beings that we're covering. And if you're interested, tune in next time for that. And until then, I'm your host Darkmish, along with my co-host.
Shout out, Fox.
And Zed.
And I hope you enjoyed this interesting look into what I only recently learned about of Zoroastrianism. And have a good day.
See ya.
Auto